Morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're connected from. This is Felix. Taking us through on the Planbxpr Cashflow solution. And basic thing we do there is very simple. Just to explore the global financial market. First, we'll talk about crypto futures and staking, talk about forex copy trading, robotic trading and AI automation, synthetic volatility trading, and affiliate rebate system. Of course, these things we subdivided them into three major parts. First, investing. Second, trading. And third, affiliate rebate system. And of course, I wouldn't hesitate or waste too much time going to probably chart analysis. Because most time when we talk about exploring the global financial market, one tend not to understand why and where should we put much attention on in exploring the global financial market. Now, in this three segment, investing, and I've said, practically speaking, investing has to do more with leveraging on buying some articles on a time that is maybe in a time that is more have some hidden opportunity. Okay, we'll talk about saying they are low gems. When they are gems, we buy into them, and then when they get to the premium level, we get them disposed. And that's what to do. Be talking about investing. So investing, practically speaking, in the space is buying into gems before they are matured. And it's not limited to one aspect of the financial market, because many of us probably would not understand that when it has to do with global financial market, it cuts across so many things, and we've always exposed us to it. And I want to beg you, if you're on our group, always explore the information and update we keep there. We don't just bring those information there for just posting sake or just hype or marketing. No, we don't do that. Those information are kept there for people to maximize and leverage, because we live right now in the economy we operate on right now is a shared economy, and it's an informational economy. Now, many persons will think that making money in this era has to do with hard work. Quite not that. It has to do with leverage, connected economy. And I'm saying this because a lot of persons who have come and then ask me questions and certain things they do not know. Don't get carried away with the way certain group of persons can complicate the whole environment. Another person may seem to be simplified, that make it too cheap and too good to be true. Another person will make it so complex that you will be afraid that is it possible. And the level of ignorance we have today when it has to do with financial market is alarming, to be very frank. Especially when you look at it in Africa, it's so terrible. Now, good thing. Talking about the global financial market, which has to cut across so many sectors. First, we talked about the commodity market, talked about the capital market, talked about liquid market, which has to do with foreign exchange, or then we'll talk about the new baby, which said to be yet to be mature to an extent, which is the crypto market. So there's so many markets that way, but not many persons actually understood that all of this is the participations of people. But how many people actually make money on it? Let me use a very practical example. We have some markets right now that people are doing in a commodity, but people are now trading it in the financial market. Example, crude oil. All right? Example, crude oil. Example, gold. Okay? So I need to simplify setting in for us so that we understand the difference. And you can now appreciate to look at yourself that, oh, I do not need to really be this kind of professional that people claim to be before I can make money. Now, this is oil. And so oil today, as at right now we're talking, is being sold and bought at $66.86 per barrel. So now this oil is sold and bought or transacted in the commodity market. But if you look at it, at that sector, oil and gas, how many persons actually have the ability or the capacity to get involved in investing in oil and gas? Right? So the startup alone is quite cumbersome and discouraging for a man who have not even fed himself, let alone to have a reserve. And of course, in quotes, that's why the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. Now, so this is a kind of a thing that we always let people understand when it has to do with the market. And so what you're studying, struggling to actually get involved in, well, to cut it a kind of a bridge, you can have oil well, working in an oil rig and all of that. The whole thing is that the summary of it is that for that oil to be exchanged for, benefit of money. That's the truth. And so the oil is labeled on a price tag. And that's what we're looking at. This is oil being bought and sold at this. So everyone that got involved in the oil sector are looking to become a shareholder, a company owner, to drill the oil, exchange, sell, and call all of those names with all the policies involved. And for that, people get involved in the commodity. And there are other commodities like agricultural products and all of that. So all of those things. Then before you now move to the next market, for instance, you go to the next market. If I use an example, some of you probably will not understand what we talk about the, let's look at it, just a moment. Need to get over here. Okay. Now, then we'll talk about the other market. For instance, in America, many of you, I'm sure you'll be hearing about Dow Jones. That talk about the stock market. The whole Dow Jones mentioned, and that's what we call it US 30. So the whole Dow Jones you hear are being mentioned are companies, stock market, that the top companies in 30. That's what they call it US 30. And now if you look at it, the hallmark of it, the major shares of this US 30 right now, it's called Goldman such companies, GS. And the weight of it, fraction it to every other stocks in that is about 9.75%, taking the lion's shares, and then followed by Microsoft. Now, the top 5 strongest among, or let's take the first 10 strongest among the 30 is GS, Microsoft Corporation, right? Caterpillar Incorporation, Home Depot Incorporation, Visa Incorporation, okay? Seven Williams, right? American Express Company, all right? United Health Group Incorporation, Again Incorporation, McDonald Corporation. These are the top 10, right? Now, so these are the top 10. All this are there as giant companies, okay? These are giant companies. I really just want us to understand the perspective, because when you tell people about the global financial market, and they say, oh, no, I don't want to look at chart. I don't want to look at Forex or crypto and all of that. The ignorance we express make us to not actually be part of the shareholder. Then we become like the, what do we call them? Advanced slave of it as much as possible. Now, so please, ladies and gentlemen, show us that when you talk about the global financial market, it's a different perspective. So you can imagine all these companies are here, and then we have another company called NASDAQ. This is like American-based stock companies. NASDAQs are companies, all right? NASDAQ are companies within the tech industry, all right? And they are more top selected 1 to 100, or with a fraction, maybe 102, 103, as it were, all right? any kind of tech companies are what you're going to find here. Now, I'm trying to analyze something so that even when you start trading, you understand that if you have a particular mindset, you're going to do well in this industry, and you're going to do well to helping yourself as much as possible. Okay? Then a lot of persons are going to ask me, Felix, are you sure all of this thing you are telling us, how do we maximize it? What are we going to get from it and all of that? I'm just trying to give you a perspective that the same company you are struggling to raise, the same company you are struggling to identify with, the same company you are trying to like become whatever in, there are so many ways of cleaning it. Now, NASDAQ, this company, I mentioned it to people to actually buy into this tech called Nvidia, and when it was about $14. Now, a good number of people probably will not listen that because they said, why will I buy stock when it's going to take so many years? Things evolve and things change over time. Nvidia right now, I still remember when it was it last year? And or beginning of this year, or April this year, I can't remember, maybe 3 months, 2 months ago, came down to was at about $87 per share. Right now, the price is at $168 and it's taking 13% shares among the top 100 tech companies in America, or listed 101 company listed on NASDAQ. Now, this is what you hear when we are trading in the foreign currency or exchange, foreign exchange. You hear about NASDAQ or you hear about US 100. So tech companies are the one listed in this environment. Now, when you look at the next one, you will not look at, because I'm taking you people, though you are new, but I just want to expand your perspective so that you can maximize opportunity and think global and take your mind away locally, right? You think global. Now, the same company, so now talk about S&P 500 combinations. I think it should be about 510 or 505 companies, all right? S&P 500. Now, I'm doing a kind of level of macro level, but I'm not teaching that. I'm go to the chart and open your understanding that when you talk about the global financial market, or when you talk about opportunity, okay, 502 companies, all right, listed both in tech, both selected top, and all of that. That's what we call about S&P 500. Now, I just had to bring out this to us so that when you look at it, somebody is making money here by holding onto the asset as a commodity, right? Talking about equity in the capital market. Why do I need to show us that? Because this is how millionaires leverage. So people bought into stocks and become a shareholder in a company. And being a shareholder in a company is going to be getting some other things like dividend, like bonus, and all the like. Now, the same group of persons, because they have lump sum of money. Now, with this lump sum of money they do really have, they make the money in a conventional and traditional way, being a shareholder, and pack it to become what we call venture capitalist, and still control the financial institutions or financial transactions. How? Okay, this same group of persons may not have the bank, but they will buy the larger shares of a bank. All right? So they will buy the largest share of the bank and still be making money there, and then still organize themselves to give money into other business, and bank raise those funds for them so that they can still make money. I think there's a portion in the Bible, if you read it, yeah. I'm not talking about the Bible based on religion. I'm talking about it on a knowledge base. It's Matthew chapter 13, verse number 12. That we're going to give for those that have more enough are going to have more in abundance, and those that do not really have, the little they have are going to be taken from them and give to those who have, to have more abundantly. And now that's the narrative I'm trying to create for us, right? So that when you are trading, when you are doing any investing, you have the perspective of being in charge. It's beyond just to make money. If you're thinking about just to make money, I'm sorry, you will make the money, but you will do nothing with the money. That's the truth. But if you have understanding of having dominion, then you understand how to play the money game, right? You will want to look at how to be in charge as much as possible. So I just use oil, crude oil as an example, and all of this. Now, this same group of persons who have those companies give money to, organizations, tell them, do business with this money and just give me so percentage. Example I'm going to draw tonight is that we have somebody who invested in NASDAQ and all of those things as stocks and buy gold. Now, the same gold this fellow bought in ounces and kept in a gold reserve, either in the bank or whatever, is having some money to now come to track the price movement of this same gold. That's where I'm arriving. Now, one ounces of gold now is bought and sold at the price of $3,323. I still remember 3 years ago or 2 years plus, 2023, I told virtually everybody that cares to listen, and I said, can buy gold now at the price of 1801. I will still remember 1801 to 1805 and keep it. Now, if anyone who have bought that since that time at 1801, 1805, very soon, if you just holding a bar of gold, then it's going to double his money maybe within the shortest time. But gold is meant to be a safe haven, reserve, commodity, and all of that. But what we still do in the market, we still make money on the price movement of this same gold. That's where I'm arriving. Now, if you have been following us, talking about crypto, many persons do not really understand what we talk about crypto. Now, I was sharing with many persons last year when the market was just dialing, and I said, well, my own target was 90,000 and 110,000. But if it passes that, that's in fact 110,000 was extra. However, a lot of things come to play in between. And I was telling everybody, guys, you know what? The price of Bitcoin, as at that last year, that we have not gotten to the top tentatively, because what I'm seeing in the market is beyond the top we're envisaging. The only challenge is that the market moved too fast, faster than we expected. And that's exactly what has happened now. And I say, okay, the way this guy have done, we've just created a new all-time high today. That is, if we can retest this up here now. But many have been following us when it went down to $76,000 and whatever. Many followed us, but they did nothing. That's one of the challenge anyway. Okay, let's look at it. So a Bitcoin, we now cross the all-time high. We now have new all-time high. Now, this is another thing that people call names at the beginning of the beginnings. Yes. And I will show you something. Now, the people who still have made money in gold, in crude oil, and different places in the financial market, talk about Forex, and then through the banking system, now come to create companies create what they call ETF. Now, this ETF is that you are not going to be buying the volatile movement of this coin. We are going to make it a spot for you. Even this volatility, you won't have it. And that's why you can see that spot trading is the mother of everything. Because when you are trading right now, trading crypto and you are trading futures, we call it contract. So you are bidding the price of Bitcoin. You are not holding the coin. So you make money, but if anything goes otherwise, you lose more money, right? It's just the same thing that gold, you buy the bar, the ounces of gold and keep in the safe. Then as the price of gold is moving, your asset has appreciated. Now, we that come to the financial market or the foreign exchange market and trade gold as CFD. right? As a contract. Now, if the market move anyhow, we're going to make a lot of money if our prediction was right. But if it's wrong, we're going to lose so much money. Now, but we have people, what do? They still make money in sports and give money to companies. Like a practical example, which I'm going to expose to us, those of us who are already in our forum that were trading on different prop firm, Traded Mastery, is an example. If you go and check now, the owner of Traded Mastery, the CEO, you see it as a front line, for instance, but the real owners are not going to surface. They are the financiers. So they have given them money. Okay, you know what? Look for traders who will trade, increase our money. They can take so portion of it. Just give us so amount. That's a business. You can see that the people who have more than enough are still going to have more abundantly than the people who do not really have. Because these people are ready to learn new things, are ready to adapt, are ready to do new things, right? As far as exploring the market is concerned. But some of us who have not even arrived anywhere, complacency set in, we thought we have already achieved. So you can see what Bitcoin have done. I remember when I was telling a lot of people, even just last week or last 2 weeks, when the market was here, and I told us, as long as we reclaim above $100,000, don't worry, we're going up. And I haven't done that. We saw this channel here, here, and then this channel was to be broken down, but eventually didn't break, was hanging around, rigmaroling around this. You can see within the 2 days, Bitcoin move again on top of this to where we are now, which about 4-point-something%. Now, why I'm saying all of this is that we invest in buying commodity asset classes and then to make much money. Then these are investment. The question, if I ask many of us now, how many of you have enough money to invest in oil and gas to go and buy one oil rig, right? So it's difficult. But you have a digital oil rig, and that's what I'm trying to post to us. So that when we are telling you that the digital oil rig, because this is an informational environment, like somebody have to draw my attention to this token, it was given to us free, right? It drew my attention to it, and I know it must have gone up again because there was a proposal to put it ETF, okay? Yeah, whichever way, when it drew my attention to it, was about, yeah, it was 0.101, whatever. That was just a few days ago. Now, let's say from here, yesterday, from just yesterday to now, this is about 33%. Now, somebody have done 33% from just yesterday to today, 33%. I'm just showing an example. Now, this is the market. Buy into some of those spots, holding them, and make money eventually. But the question a lot of people will ask is that, how much money do you have? Now, look at this. Look at this token. Before market move, this token, this CATVEX, before market move, the total percentage that's done from the period it start moving was just about average of about 148% thereabout. But the continuity, right? Now look at this token. 317% in just 24 hours. Hyper. Now, these are different ways of making money. Just buying, holding it, and watch it grow. And in some cases, we have a place where we can put it to say, okay, we're staking it as still part of investing. Okay? Just on the 4th was when, few days back, was when this CATX was showing me that the market is now bullish. Look at it. Look at it. That was on the 5th. Today is 10th. On the 5th was when my software AI was telling me that this guy is now bullish. And that was about 11 cents, okay? At about 11 cents. Good. Sorry, in long plenty zeros. So there are more zero. That's about 0.0011. all right? So 0.0011. And now that is about how many penny? That's 2 zeros. It has cancelled 1 0, and now this other zero is now 1 cent. So from then to now, this 14% drop down you are seeing is not an issue. But from then to now, this has done 1,000%. That's within 5 days. 1,033%. That's within 5 days. I'm just trying to show us some things that when we talk about investing, understand this. Investing take long term, medium term, short term. Short term is 1 year, but in less than 1 year, anything can happen. So imagine 5 days, this has done this, but we call it very risky side, and that's what we diversify. Now, before I go to trading, now I'll always say this, and why do I need to emphasize about investing? Listen to me. No matter what you trade, no matter how fervent, strategic, meticulous in your trading, if you do not have an investment, it's an error. The trading you are doing is still just like normal career, like you are doing 9 to 5 job. The difference there is that you are paying yourself and you can make more than expected as you want. But listen, if you do not have a backup to where you push in the money and all of that, right, you are still going to pay dearly for it. So it takes one that have a backup to be able to really have what to fall back to. It takes the one that have a backup to really have what to fall back to. So ladies and gentlemen, what I'm showing to us is that investment. Now, other investment we still leverage. All right, you have what I'm talking to about the cash flow solution. We'll talk about copy trading. Copy trading is not limited to one segment of the market. We have it in crypto, then we have it in Forex, we have it in synthetics and all of that. Now, but listen, one of the aspects of copy trading, you need to be patient too, because sometimes you can copy me and I may not really have time to trade for the next 3 months in that account. Now, if you do not understand investing, you get angry, you leave. Maybe the day you leave is the day I'm coming back to trade. And when I come down to trade, I may do 1,000% within the few days. What do you mean by 1,000%? Maybe what you have in the account is $1,000. And I decide to trade for 1 month and I flip it. And after flipping it, okay, that's 100% rather. And then you're going to see 2,000. Now, for people who probably have been trading for many, whatever, and then blown up the account, you prefer to have been seeing money every day. Nevertheless, there are so many ways of cleaning it out. Now, I have to take us this dimension, especially those of you who are new, are hearing about what we do here in this space. It's so fantastic. What we say was that we want a situation, we have a goal in the trading arena that we want to have minimum of 500 people that will be making average of $20 to $200 every day, and then so minimum of 500 people. Why? We want to salvage people from Ponzi scheme and all of that. We know Ponzi scheme can never stop, but a lot can remove themselves from that very, very bad dragon. Okay, so trading or investing, buy low, sell high, okay, which sometimes is like a taboo if you do not understand what you want. So I've talked about the global financial market, commodity market. Sorry. Not many persons have money to afford what is offered in the commodity market. All right? I've talked about the crude oil. I've talked about the gold, maybe agricultural product and all of that. Not many persons can afford what it takes to be profitable and what it requires. But now, conversion. So conversion, bidding of the contract with the pricing is what you are doing here. Now, the same thing, I talked about stock market, just like I talked of Invida, right? You saw it. So look at it here. So this is a foreign stock, all right? That's not the only stock I bought, but I told a lot of people that time. So look at it. So in April, it came down to as low as $87. So that is to say, for anyone, and at that exact time I was talking much about it, that's about 88%. This is a stock, ladies and gentlemen. This is about 88%. Now, this same stock, you have bought quantity of it, making dividend, making bonus. The same way, we still go around trading the index of this same stock. Okay? We still go ahead trading the index of this same stock. I'm talking in parable, but not many would understand what I'm talking right now. But over time, you need to sit down to leverage, to understand that the power of leverage, you don't need to be an expert, but you can ride at the back of an expert. And then education right now, opportunity right now are more decentralized than before. And the power of leverage. If you don't know how to leverage, you can't be wealthy. Just understand that. Nobody who's hard work can make him, flourish or become billionaires. Hard work can feed you. Yes, hard work can feed you, can put food on your table, but I can tell you, hard work cannot make you flourish. Just like they say, labor is good, but favor is better, cheaper, and faster. So when you talk about leverage, it's just like the favor. And so when God decides to give you favor, the milestone is bogus. You can't quantify it. So now this is the same thing I'm trying to post to us now. So looking at the market and what we want to achieve. We have known and heard in our research that most persons are afraid of crypto just because of right. Thank you. Okay, so we know that a lot of people are afraid of crypto, the forex market, and all of that, not just because of the risk associated, but perceive misinformation. They perceive certain things, somebody told them, and they see some persons who have been in the financial market, either forex trader and all of that. They see the madness they exercise. They say, no, 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 this is not a good place to be, right? I was interacting with somebody sometime, and he told me, he said, anything that has to do with crypto, I don't want to have anything to do with it. Anything that has to do with forex, I don't want to have anything to do. I look at the level of his ignorance and I smile. You know why do I have to smile? Because where he's running to, the bank is running to, and all of that, are diversifying to this pool of pedestal, right? This is a pool like forex. This is a pool of 7.9 trillion in 24 hours. And where he's running from are the places these people are making out money with the same money he's saving. So, but the same person is going to tell me, I want to play it safe. Right? So I'm trying to arrive somewhere so that when I open a chart, you have an understanding that, oh, all of this chart just representation of the normal market you are looking, the commodity market and all the like, and then it's just being converted. So people now smartly, because if you are trading, either you are trading crypto on future or spot, or you are trading forex in both the indexes and then trading the foreign exchange, that is currencies pair. So you are trading the currency pair, right? It's still what we call part of leverage. So we want you to leverage in this market, and that's what we're emphasizing. So first, investing. Second is trading. Now, everything you invest in can be traded. Gold you invest in can be traded. Oil you are investing in can be traded. Now, look at it. Before your oil pay you, before someone who have an oil well, who have an oil rig, who is an oil merchant, before he's being paid, before the high sea delivered to the place that is exporting or importing his crude and the byproduct of the crude, which you have the spirit and all of that, before he's being paid, somebody is bidding the price. So all the oil you are exporting, somebody is contracting and bidding the price online. That's the power of leverage. So that means I can make money from oil, from an oil mogul without having any rig. What a mystery. That's exactly what we're saying. I can become a kind of bullion van owner of gold without having any ounce of gold. Just like the same way Uber, all of those companies do not have a car, but they are running transportation company. That's exactly what we are exposing you to. So our goal is to expose you to see the simplest way of maximizing this place. Now, so if you didn't buy into all of those things we have been saying in Bitcoin and different cryptocurrency we'll be mentioning, no problem. Relax. You're going to see much more of these in many years to come. Because Bitcoin, the time to come, will become like the gold you are hearing today. And when you didn't participate in it, maybe when Bitcoin is at the price of maybe $500,000 or $1 million, you now want to be running around. Even right now, how many of us, not that you do not have money, but how many of us can afford? Because that you don't have the money is a different thing. Afford means what level of confidence can you have to bring out $113,000 right now to buy just one Bitcoin? Not that you probably will not be able to afford it, but can you actually remove such money now that you want to buy only one Bitcoin? The answer is no. It's difficult. But there was a time we're begging people to buy Bitcoin at $90, not $90,000, $90, $100, $150, $300, and all of that. I know somebody is laughing now because remember when they were wasting Bitcoin, I was telling them, when a while, the person is laughing now. He's in this meeting. And they say, no, we just need Naira to be coming to our bank account. I say, what you don't know is your elder brother. And so how many of us, even if you have the money, you may not have that boldness. That conviction will not be there. And even that conviction is there. Look, when will Bitcoin go to ×2 of what it is now? You're talking about 200 and something $1,000. So what level of confidence can you exercise to put in $113,000 just to have one piece of something they call Bitcoin, imaginary commodity, and then to close your eye and wait till the next 1 or 2 years for you to double? You won't have that guts. That's the truth. And that's exactly what we're trying to say, that time come, people who have Bitcoin will still make more money than you, and yet still come to the market pricing of that same Bitcoin and still make enough money. Okay, so I'm sure what I'm explaining to us is that online is beyond what you used to know. Online is not what you used to hear. Many of you have refused to invest in crypto, in Forex, not because of the risk associated to crypto and Forex. No. Now, let me tell you why many of you have refused to invest in Bitcoin. Because you only heard about scams and Ponzi scheme associated with Bitcoin or cryptocurrency. Example, I mentioned some of those platforms. Let us even not mention MMM. Ponzi scheme, investment scheme, crypto space, claiming to be paying you percentage, bring your money. And some of you have invested not 1,000, not 2,000, not 3,000, not 10,000, not $100,000. And at the end of the day, it looked you to be true, eventually disappeared. We have Almighty OneCoin was a scam. Of course, I can say it boldly because it was everywhere. And invested in it, all right? As at that time, I know how much I invest in it, right? So, and so many other platforms. Now, some of us invested and directly got involved and ran away. And that's a bad expression because what you were actually doing, you were not investing. You were only being cajoled to have invested in crypto. None of you have done any investment to the crypto, any of those crypto. None. What you are investing into is investment scheme, claiming to be doing anything crypto. The second group of people have some friends, maybe people like Felix, who have been, everything about me is crypto, okay? Yeah, I can tell you anywhere. Now, if that is the case, some persons who felt that are supposed to have maybe build skyscraper, or what do they call it, or build house on the sky and then buy private jet and do all of those things. They say, Felix have not bought private jet. So if this crypto thing is working like that, why has he not bought private jet? Felix does not even have a car. So if he does not have a car, it's not working, right? And so many other things. Or maybe they will hear that Felix lost about how much $1,000 or maybe $1 million. Then that means that play is too risky. If him that we thought he won't have knowledge about crypto could lose that money, then that is not a good place to go. Those are the people these are, spectators, and then those are factors. Then the other group of people, because of what they think they know. You remember, listen, I've been telling us, ladies and gentlemen, enemy of knowledge is knowledge. The worst set of people in the world I've ever met are people who manage to go to schools. And I can tell you till tomorrow, I'm sorry if I undermine, I'm not saying schooling is not good, but schooling is killing more than. We need more of education than schooling. And what we have more is schooling. We celebrate certification and not impact of knowledge. So at the end of the day, these people felt that they have gone to different universities, they have different degrees. So when you just talk about Bitcoin, they say, no, no, that is a scam. And that was a passive knowledge, misconception they get about this thing. And they said, no, I don't want to hear about Bitcoin, cryptocurrency. Is that not what people did and they are in jail? Is that not what they use in sponsoring evil and then sponsoring crime and all of those? No, I don't want to get involved. That was what they were told. Then some now spiritualize it. I'm a born again Christian, so I don't need to have anything to do with scam, anything that's not legitimate. I love what is happening in Nigeria. I remember I told somebody when I was begging him almost nearly down to buy Bitcoin at $5,000, he said, no, I said, okay, don't worry. Let me give you time. In the next 5 or 10 years, we'll come back, we'll talk. But I'm sure shame cannot even allow him to call to me now because I told him, I said, what he said and why I have to put him at a far distance was that, Felix, I will never get involved in any of those your scam and fraudulent activities, online scam, Yahoo kind of things. And then because as far as I'm concerned, anything government does not approve is a scam and it's illegal. I said, okay, no problem. I just pray you understand what we call legalizing illegality to achieve legal result. There are things you will not be able to see online. And I told him, I said, okay, don't worry. If it's legality, no problem. But I think we can talk boldly more about it now. Not only a domestic country, but if the number one citizen of the world, they're not talking about crypto, well, I don't know who now will now listen to in the local environment. And good thing, if you're in Nigeria, we saw all of those legislations and all of those things that have been passing through the bill. And then I met another one and I said, okay, so I think you're announcing that crypto now is good now. I say, yes, now government now. So the question I will ask him, how many Bitcoin can you buy now? Number one, he cannot even afford it. I'm telling us this every month, gentlemen. You have a lot of uncles that felt they know so much and they have denied you of this fortune. They have denied you of this shift. They have denied you of this opportunity of a lifetime. And these are the things that we have missed. Now, how do you recover? It's sacrificial in nature. And that's why you need to be personally involved. I'm teaching us basic knowledge for you to really see that you need to be involved personally by yourself, just like as salvation is personal. That's how your finance is personal, to be very candid. Salvation is personal, and that's how your finance is personal. When you ask too many questions about cryptocurrency, Forex, from people who they only have a passive knowledge, they don't have any in-depth knowledge, they have no idea whatsoever, they will mislead you. But they are not to be blamed. It's you that don't know what you wanted. If you ask me, do I have a lot of discouragement when I started talking about online? Well, I don't need to go there. So, ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome. So we're going to look at, so which other way can I meet up? I have missed a lot now. Which other way can I meet up with this space? Now we're talking about trading. So we have different type of trading. We have spot trading in crypto, and then we have future trading in crypto, memecoin, low gems trading in crypto. Then we have currencies, foreign exchange. I will tell you why I was encouraging a lot of people to now explore. Ooh, I wanted to send this thing to people just today. Nobody. I was saying I copy one contract address. Now, however, let me just copy it out. If it will still do well anyway. I was looking that, hold on, that was last week. I was checking that I copy one contract address of a token. I didn't know, man. Ooh, 150 something percent. My word. The even came down yesterday. See, for people who are traders, they've already seen that yesterday it came down. Oh my word. 24%. It has done about 36%. I still seated about 24%. Now, okay, so I'm going to paste it. So I'm going to paste this contract address, okay? If you're on our Telegram group, you're going to pick it on the free general Telegram group, Cashflow, the Cashflow solution. I'm going to paste it there on the general space. So the contract address, it's a Solana-based token. So I'm going to type it there. Solana-based token. Okay, can be bought. All right. Oh my word. Because I saw it, and that was a token created about 2 months ago, and all of that. So if it's going to pull back, that would make sense. But if it does not, this is the way we buy coin. Everybody, if you're on the group, so looking to where it's going 52%, well, who knows? So, but if you want to buy, you buy little first to see that if it's going to grab all of this liquidity and see crash down for you to buy. But nevertheless, remember, I was warning many persons, month of June used to be crappy. July, August, September, heavy move used to happen in crypto. And that means we are going to last lap. Now we have group of people who are going to be buying Bitcoin and other cryptocurrency by October, November. Those are the people that will give the bag and give them, see you the next cycle, right? In the next 2, 3 years, they get discouraged eventually, sell off at loss and never come back. Instead to come back to come and take over what belongs to them, they run away until they hear again that, oh, crypto had picked up again. They return back, they buy from the roof again. We give them the bag now. So this is knowledge, okay? It's not evil, okay? So it's not evil, it's knowledge when it has to do with that. So I pasted it on our Telegram. If you're not on our Telegram group, after now, you can request for you to be there. It's a free Telegram group. Then those of you on private mentorship, I'm pasting it. I just could not really remember my word. Come on. So you're going to see your memcoin scalping. Yes, something like that. I'm pasting the contract address there. Okay. Okay. What? So painful. So painful. I have too many things to handle at a time, right? Like, oh my God. So I pasted the contract address. There was one I think I asked people to buy sometime. Did he actually move? Maybe they didn't move. Okay, this was on this was on okay, it has not really moved. This on a Coinbase contract. Okay. Okay, somebody said drop the Telegram link. Okay, I hope I could just copy it out. So let's go, let's check. So the era we are is not era of you don't need to know too much. Just know how to connect and leverage. The power of leverage will deliver to you what even your hard work of many years cannot deliver to you. Understand that. Good number of people when they meet I said that people are doing well today, didn't have what to have, but they know how to leverage. If you don't know how to leverage, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's going to be very terrible. You will walk and walk and walk until you have nothing to show for it. And now don't quote it wrong. When we talk about it's not about your hard work. Yes, hard work is required because you need to put in the necessary focus, discipline, and energy that requires. But we're just making you to understand that if all you do is just that your hard work, we're sorry, you may just be working till you pass on. But that's not your portion, right? And then you won't have any system. So you want to really get flourish, you must have a system. And so that's the power of leverage. Okay? That's power of leverage. I'm going to post the link now on the group for those of you who are not there. Okay. Sorry, just a moment. I'm going to paste it now. So, Okay, I hope you can click on it on the chat box. This one, Rachel, you're disturbing us, so mute your mic. Okay, so I'm pasting it on the chat box. I know those of you on Facebook will be asking question too. I will paste for you guys on my okay. You can DM me, those of you on Facebook. If you want it, you can DM me if you're on Facebook. All right, so that I'll give it to you. Okay, so now let's go quickly. Talking about exploring, so I've sent the contract address on the Telegram. You can pick it. Okay. Now, let's look at it. I've been teaching a strategy to explore the market and trading to make money. And I told us, I said, first, to explore the market, two things are very paramount. One, knowledge of the road to follow. Two, capital that involve in making out money. Good. So if that is the case, number one, knowledge to acquire. Knowledge, basic knowledge, not too difficult knowledge. But even if it's difficult, for instance now, I know many persons that, God forbid, if somebody's on emergency now and it's life-threatening issue, you know what life-threatening? Is in the theater, and then the doctor and they've said the physicians have said, if you don't drop this social deposit, we will not carry out this surgery. Whatever belonging that man has, and whatever anything anybody have anywhere, they're going to rally around and sell it off to secure and save his life, right? And then pay for those things. If they need to borrow, they have to borrow and all of that, just to save life. But do you know the funniest thing? Your financial problem too is an urgent disease. It's a terrible disease that requires you to sell off your time you use for irrelevant things. I'm telling us, to be very frank. Many people didn't see that your financial struggle is a sickness that requires urgent attention. Hence, it will destroy you and cause commotion for generations to come. So that means there is a need to do urgent overhauling of anything that is not advancing you, that's not adding any value to you, so that you can acquire the relevant thing, skills, the resources to get better. But let me tell you the good news. The good news is this. It was before, yes, but there are mentorship that you have to spend and spend. Let me show you something, everybody. You see this AI I'm using here, right? I'm a lifetime member of this. I think it's about 7,000 or either 7,000 or $8,000. Look at it, premium. Can you see premium? It's not free, okay? It's not free, but you can register free. I think I've sent this type of link to that group. You don't need to pay money. You can register. But what I can do, you can do it. That's the truth. Now, I do a lot of research, but I don't have all the time to be moving around. So there are some things you will just do. For instance, if I click here now, all right, where is it? If I click here and click on AI agent, okay, look at it here, for instance. If I click on AI agent, okay, which cryptocurrency has the potential to 1,100x, even though it may not be correct, okay, but you can have an idea of what to look into. Okay, what are the best cryptocurrencies to buy today? Okay, so what are the best cryptocurrencies to buy today? This fellow is disturbing us so much. Okay. Okay, so which cryptocurrencies are the best cryptocurrency to trade today? What are the top 5 cryptocurrency to invest in right now? What are the top meme coins to trade right now? So you understand? So if I just say, I just click that, right? This is AI, right? So it will research. However, I tell you it's not a financial advice, right? But it can give you an idea. So instead of me going around struggling, so formulating responses, just like ChatGPT you have, but this one, you know that this is a confined into, okay? Now, you can see that, okay, based on July data, top meme coins include Dodge, Shiba, Pepe. This is not what I'm looking for, right? Of course, you know me and you know that this is not what we're looking for, right? So because we know what we know, we understand what we understand, right? So, but I'm just trying to give you an idea, reduce my stress of going around. Those of you who use Bybit to trade, you know that you don't even need to ask for signal from anybody, but it's just that you need direction for somebody to show you what the tools that are available on your Bybit that you can wake up and look at. It will give you the analysis of the token and tell you at least potential percentage it can do for that day. So if you are trading future, you can pick the coin and then go to your market tech analysis platform and analyze it. So it is your work of looking, okay, which coin can I analyze today? You don't need those things. So this is a power of leverage, okay? And then there are some I will have. There's some instrument I have, right? They will be telling me which coin are going to be pumping or which coin are pumping right now, okay? I will see, this coin is pumping right now and all of that. Now, this is leverage, okay? This is leverage. So that means I don't need to struggle unnecessarily. You have resources and hard work is important, right? But if you see where to leverage, it's called favor. So like I told you guys that labor is good, but favor is better and cheaper. This platform now, for instance, give me just a moment so that before I go into the market, telling you the opportunity we have in this space is better, faster, cheaper than before. Okay. So hard work, we put food on your table, but I can tell you, hard work may not flourish you. Yes. So you need favor, okay? And so in economic language, favor is leverage. But in the prophetic language, leverage is favor, okay? So when God show you favor, you would think your neighbor does not know anything. When God show you favor, you would think that you're a prayer warrior and your friend is a pagan, okay? But you will not understand is the language of favor, okay? Now look at this token now, for instance, if I had come in time, show this token. So look at pumping now. These are tokens that are pumping, right? See them? Look at this wax USDT. So if I click on it to see it, okay? These are different AIs that you just like what scripture talk about. God say, I will fight your fight, you hold your peace, right? Okay. So this is a token, pump, and AI has brought it out for you. Don't need to struggle and all of that. So I'm just sharing opportunity with us so that you see that it's not your hard work, it will take a smart step. Okay, so now, ladies and gentlemen, first thing you need is just basic knowledge. And in acquiring this basic knowledge, there are basic platforms. For crypto, you need wallet, you need exchange, then you need analysis platform like TradingView, example. In Forex, the knowledge and tools associated, you need platform, software platform, MT5, TradeLocker, and all of that. You need broker, just like in stock, okay? Just like in stock. Many of you, okay, before I will forget, my favorite local stock, I was telling people to buy. I will keep saying it because I said that if good news is spread again and more than enough, that it will get to the right people. Holy Ghost. So Jitco finally is 19 naira per share. I think this is one of the most expensive banking stock, Nigerian banking stock. I think I've not seen the one that's as expensive as this. I was telling, I think it was yesterday, I wrote in the write-up and I said, eventually this guy will cross $100 in no distant time. 100 naira. I like calling dollar, sorry. So that this stock is going to hit 100 naira in that distant time. But the last time I was talking much about it, for people to buy, it was seated at 33 naira. Later, it was hanging perpetually at 39 and 41 naira. Over time, it was at 51 naira. In fact, somebody who bought at 33 naira was shouting and surprised, say, sir, when did this thing get to 50 naira? I don't know. I was not aware. I say, you don't need to be aware. You have it, so forget about it. All right. Now, if you buy this stock, imagine you buy this stock, March this year at 57 naira. You know, this time hit up to 100 naira. If it's 3 million naira you put in there, that's going to give you 6 million naira. I don't know the local investment because I've invested in different platforms, farming and all of that. But man, why I could manage the disappointment is that when I'm going into anything, disappointment is part of the thing I write and I expect to happen. And so when it happens, it doesn't shock me. According to Nigerian slang, say it shock you. You know they shock me. When it happens, I expect it. Because for everyone that is doing, including Felix talking, you can only have the Holy Ghost. You are not the Holy Ghost yourself. So as long as you are flesh, forget about it. So disappointment, I expect it from anybody, irrespective of who you are. It doesn't matter. And so for that, I could manage it. And that's why, seriously, to be very candid with us, in business, if you expect disappointment, when it happens, you can manage it. But if you list, nothing can happen and all of that, I'm sorry. It will hit you. You may never recover from it. Now, this is the same talk. And then we have other stock. Wima Bank sat down for a very long time. Wima Bank sat for 5 naira, 7 naira, 3 naira. Now, this is 16 naira per share. Wow. 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 This is the one that surprised me more was I don't think I tell people so much about this. To a few people I was telling, Better Glass. So Better Glass was the one that shocked me more. Was how much? Not long. And then we have MTN. When people were shouting tariff of MTN or telecommunication to be increased, I said I'll just increase my stock only for Holy Spirit. Ladies and gentlemen, how many of you remember this even when I was shouting that finally that this stock have entered 357 naira? No, 351 naira. I said very soon to be above 400 naira. 390 naira. Where are we going? My goodness. As at April, 229 naira per share. Then let's look at it. You don't need some of those people you are dashing money on in the name of investment. Be involved. Get the basic knowledge, ladies and gentlemen. Get the basic knowledge. Be involved by yourself. Remove all of those disappointments that's hitting you here and there. Be involved. It's very, very important. Many a time I've been telling people, even people will come around me, let me give you money to help me handle my investment. I say, no, 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 no. I say two things are involved. Two things are involved if I handle your investment for you. Things are done in a decentralized format now. I say two things are involved if I help you to invest. If you must achieve what you are looking for, if there's going to be level of sincerity for your investment by me, Felix, then there's going to be level of slavery. Look at Fitsim. Somebody was asking me, I think it was my wife that was telling me, somebody was asking, can she still buy? I don't think I really have time to have told the person, if you buy, congratulations. Because it was 41 naira that day when the person was asking. Now it has added 3 naira per shares, or 6 naira already. And then this stock was stocked at about 14 naira for a very long time. Yes, you hear me right? About 14 naira for a very long time. Yeah, so you can even see, yeah, so as at December was that 14 naira. So as at this year, January or so, was 15 naira. So it was revolving around that price. So imagine even as at April was still about 17 naira. So if you look at it right now, from that point to this point, That's about 160% April to now. Okay. Now, so what I'm telling us all of this is this, very simple, that you can't, any investment you are doing now, things are decentralized. They are not like before. Stock, you don't need to give money to a person. Just get the basics. Yeah, get the basics. You lock in platforms for you. You connect with your local bank account. That's what you want. And then you can be trading your stock from your bank. Very simple. Okay. You'll be trading it from your bank. Make your money. We make money, you want to withdraw, you withdraw it back to your bank. And so you don't need to call Felix. So I say, if you give me the money, and I must be sincere that you're going to be getting how it's supposed to be done, I'm going to be a slave. Now, let me tell you why. If I'm sincere to somebody, because I don't know, I'm sorry to say this, is that when the more you are sincere to people, the more they look at you like you're a fool. It's natural to man, so don't get it twisted. The scripture I talked about, the human heart, the human mind, he said it's more deceptive than other things before I proceed. Jeremiah, before I proceed to say, the heart of a man is desperately wicked, yea, who can find? So he said, we are more deceptive. So now, if I'm doing anything, the more I'm sincere to you, the more you override me. Yes, you may not understand. The more you override me, you will take me for granted. That's the truth. I've seen it. Then that means, and I don't want to fail, not because of you. Maybe that's the covenant I have with my God. And now you override me, you think like I'm an idiot, that I don't know anything. You know, so in our dialects, you Jasi. So go and ask, it's a botanical name. Ko Jasi, ko Laju, ko Damo, you know? So now, as a second part, it's either I will be a slave to you or I will cheat you. And I told him, I said, for me to be a slave to you may not really happen. I said the second one may likely happen. You say, which one? I say, I may likely cheat you. Look at how the cheating will come. You say, oh, so Felix, you can cheat person. Felix is not the Holy Ghost. So the only thing that is sure and will remain forever is the word of God. I will tell people, don't deceive yourself. See how the cheating may come. If I invest this money and we make a lot of money, but because we have agreed that this is the percentage you will get, that's the percentage I'm going to give to you. For instance, let's say I've told you that bring your money, I'll help you to buy some stock and all of that. And at least I know some stock that can do, let's say in a year, you are going to earn like 20 or 30%, right? And just like we have land banking now that do 25%, even the money market, 19%, 17%, 21%, 27%. And I base it on that and I say, I'm going to give you 30%. Now, as I've given you 30%, assuming I buy this same stock, fits in, and I've done 160% within the shortest time, I won't raise the bar to say, hey, Oga, this stock did well. For that, instead of 30%, let's give you 100%, or let's give you 50%. I'm not going to do that. That's the truth. I'm not going to do that. But look at the cheating. If the market go the other way and go south, I will come to you to say, that stock we bought, rock pool. Are you aware of that? Right? So you can see now that Felix is not the Holy Ghost. When the thing go bad, I'm going to report back to you. When it go exponential, I will only report what we agree to you. Are you aware? Because why? We equally agree that if the market not do well, I will give you the situation report. Then in a situation where the market extraordinarily did well, I wouldn't give you the situation report. I will only report based on what we agreed. Okay, so this is how market is an opportunity. Now, quickly, let's look at what I want to share with you. And of course, I've done a lot of videos. This market is spotted in different ways, but I'd say go primitive. It is the primitive that you can do very simple. There are so many strategy, techniques, names they call in the market today on how people maximize the market or explore the market. I always tell people, don't go their English. It may be difficult for you. The way they describe so many things may be difficult for you. And that's why many of you look at the market to trade as like a mountain that is not approachable. That's not true. That's not true. The market is simple, but you are the one that will complicate issues. Get? The market is simple, but you'll be the one to complicate issues. Now, very quickly, I'm going to show with you now. What we trade in the market, for instance, crypto. We trade crypto, we trade Forex, we trade synthetic. Now, let me look at, I'm sure many coins will be pumping as Bitcoin had been pumping. Okay, so let me take almighty Solana. Good. Solana, now, this is Solana. We trade Solana, just a moment. Now, this is Solana. In the markets, I'm not going to teach what I've taught on Monday. Sorry, on Tuesday we couldn't meet. So now, we talked about trend and all the like. This is Solana or any instrument at all that I want to trade. Then what I tell people, what to need to learn, understanding the market is direction, which they call trend. Direction. Where is the market coming from and where is it going to? Then what gives direction is called structure. So the structure, they call it high, low, high, low. I'm not going to detail about that. So, but in summary of this, what make a body or what you call, many people will condemn you, what I want to teach you, and what I'm teaching, just to paraphrase, I have the next 10 minutes to do that. Now, people who want to buy and sell in the market, either it's Forex or crypto. In crypto, you can buy low to sell high. In crypto, you can buy and sell. So people who buy low to sell high need to wait for a season. But people who buy and sell don't need to wait for a season. They just wait and check direction. So buy and sell is simple. So if it's crypto, it's future, which is a contract. If it's Forex, it's equally CFDs, for PS currencies, and still future contract. Those are the things there. Now, all these, we've talked about candlestick before. I'm not going to talk about that. Now, I want to trade in a day. So you are being called a day trader. So what are you day trading? So I'm picking Solana, for instance. Very simple. Looking at Solana, this is 1 hour time frame. If you don't have trading view, if you're in our group, I think I've sent a document that says this is what you need. If you cannot find it, maybe after this training, I'll still post it there, a document that contains virtually links that we use for business and all of that. Now, this market was moving up and is still moving up. Let's just take it that way. Okay? So this market was moving up and is still moving up. So, but the question I would now ask myself is that, would this market still move up? How long will it continue? And I said the best thing you trade is called simple support and resistance. Now, don't worry. Smart money concept trader, SMC, ICT, they will laugh at you that you are a Jew guy. Tell them what matters is not the name. Is it paying? Listen, no matter what you know, excuse me, no matter who you are, no matter where you are from, if it's not making money, it's not making sense. No matter what I want to teach you now, if I teach you everything and it's not convertible to money, or what I'm teaching you is just waste of time. Don't deceive yourself. Okay? Anything you are learning, because after God is money. Okay, so I'm not saying you go and kill people to money, but listen, no matter what knowledge, because you say you got to go and read the engineer and all of to become after the engineer, what are you going to use the engineering thing to do? Is it not money you look for? So anyone who's telling you anything is not convertible to money, sir, just forget it. So now, somebody will teach you. I'm not saying to learn ICT is wrong. No. I'm not saying to just face, there are different strategies. There are many ways of killing a rat. But I'm just telling you that where to start from is the primitive. That is very simple, that will still stand, either they like it or not. They can say it's out fashion, but is it making money? If it's making money, forget the fashion. So now, this is 1 hour. I don't want to go simple. I come to trade in the market. This is the simple thing I do. I look at what we call swings. Look at this 1 hour. This swing is here. That is where the market pull back to. I will mark it. I'm teaching you simple support and resistance. Others look at the immediate support and resistance, okay? And with the candle, close and open. So those persons are going to draw this place. Yes, so it's still part of it. It's knowledge. Then they will draw another one because two candles close open is already support and resistance. Especially this is 1 hour. They draw another one here. Okay, somebody was talking something. Okay, you are asking, it's 1 hour. You are a day trader, scalper, and all of that. It is when you are a swing trader or intraday trader that you probably use more higher time frame. Okay, if you want to learn more about those things, then you're joining our community. I've done training on this free training that is in a Google Drive. If you come in, you register on CapitalXtend, fund your account with minimum $100. I think even before you do that, once you fund and all of that, you have access to detailed training of this I'm showing now. And then you can be trading and be making money. Our target, we've said, is we want to have minimum of 500 people that will be making minimum of $20 to $200 every day. Okay? It's all your choice. Now, so this is like support and a resistance. Now, another thing we always check, they call it a pivot point. That's a point at which market was before it take a big move either down or up. So I'm just trying to mark all this. So if I've done this, I will step down to ordinarily, I go to 15 minutes if I will still find other spaces. Okay, so let me take this trend line off. If I will still find another space, if I cannot find, no problem. Ordinarily, once you're on 1 hour, 1 hour is an external structure or external liquidity for 5 minutes. So 5 minutes is an internal structure or internal liquidity for 1 hour. Now, see what we have marked now in 1 hour. So what to now do? Yes, fine. In 5 minutes, market still get all of this point and, stop and all of that. So perhaps you want to see here that you have marked those points. You want to see here this week. I mark it out like this. Now let's look at it. To mark is simple support and resistance, which some can call it zones, but zones are actually more of higher time frames. All right. Now, you come to the market and to buy and to sell. You don't just jump into the market to buy and sell. You want to look at where is the market now and where is it likely going to go. See this place you are seeing now. Let me just take this mark up here. All right. You see this place. It's a barrier. That's what we call resistance. Why is it called resistance? It is called resistance because market have penetrated to that point before and meet its water low and it done back. Something happened to it that make it to return back that time. That chances are there that when the market get to that point again, it may not make it. It will return back through. But that thing that intimidated this guy not to cross this border, this one may get there with so much energy and cross it. Then you still say, well, I've seen you've crossed it, but my faith is not strong enough that you are really cross it. Can they let us pull you back? Then you now say, okay, in pulling this guy back, instead of this guy to come down below this, he said, well, I've crossed this border. I'm not coming back here. I'm going ahead. That is when you are making decision that since you are going ahead, I've seen the sign, all right, that you want to go ahead. That is when you are buying. But it got to this point, maybe you were making mouth that you will go ahead, but it crosses eventually and they push him and he fall back to this point. And in the next move to move, I'm domesticating the trading now. And the next thing to move and cross here, he lost energy. So then I say chances are there that since he lost energy, what happened to this man before will happen to him is going to come back. But this man, when he returned back here, where did he stop? He actually stopped within this range. That means this man will return back to this point. And if you return back to this point, if this thing cannot wage it, that it will go back to this point. If this one will not wage it, it will go back to another point. And that's what you are saying about support and resistance. Are you getting it now? So now, for me, when you come to the market, this market now within, this is 5 minutes as a day trader or scalpers or whatever, intraday actually use 15 minutes, which is which a kind of, you enter a trade, you may not close that trade that day. You are targeting more, higher moves. So it may be that the next 2 days or the second day, the trade may cross to that second day, perhaps. Sometimes can close for that day. But a day trader will not use anything more than 5 minutes. All right. A scalper will use 5 minutes and 1 minute, 3 minutes, 2 minutes. So now, what should I do? I've marked this. 2 things you are waiting for. That this market, when they come here, if you reject it, in fact, they will now call it a pattern that is become a double top. This is where the smart money concept people say, this place can be fake out, all right? And once you fake out, that they know that people place order, which they call about liquidity. I'm not going to those details. I'm just showing you simple way. So when you enter market and you have marked things like this, and market is at this point, listen to me, you don't enter. You enter market at a point of, interest, a key level. So as this market is moving, what is this gap to this gap is very small. And so what 2 decisions you want to make here, if this market get to this point, okay, if this market, okay, let's go this way. If this market move, okay, probably get to this point, break it, and jump down, and now continue, that's when you want to buy. Okay? So you want to now buy that because it has fought and triumphed. But this market, instead to now stay there, it cross here, and now make attempt to go back and stop here. Then that's when you want to sell. And when you are now selling, that's where you see, those of you who are in our forum, you see signal. You are now saying, okay, since it has happened that way, you are selling like this. Where you went to before, you see your stop loss, perhaps, wherever. So you say your stop loss. And then we always say you are now targeting maybe 1:2 risk reward. And then by that time, maybe getting to this point. That's where you now see that signal ascend this way. You now see 1:2 risk reward or more. Meaning that it is at this point, this where this purple join with this blue is this price. That's the price they say you should enter. Where this red is, that's the stop loss. You are saying, I'm looking at the whole thing, the market from the 2 sides of the coin. For the fact that I'm selling that is going, it can misbehave and continue. If you continue, instead to drag me to line of low labor or a place I wouldn't recognize myself, the moment you get to this, stop me, I can manage that loss. That's what called stop loss. Then, but they eventually deliver to this point. So in some time, when they are gone 50% way down to your point, they now say what they call trailing. Say, bring this stop loss down to where you enter from, probably here. So that if the market decides to go back again, then you won't have anything to lose. Listen, 3 things are very important in trading. 1, securing capital. 2, securing profit. 3, trading with the profit. And I take it again. 3 things are very important and fundamental in trading. 1, securing capital. 2, securing profit. 3, trading with profit. These are how professionals actually trade, and they don't trade on impulse. They make it this way. So this is support and resistance. You want detail more of this. Other thing will now have, you hear me, I talk about leverage. Other thing will now have, I'm sure people have invited you to ACASX, GFU, many platforms. They are called leverage platform. But one of the first platforms I will show to you tonight, if you are totally new, you don't know anything about Forex, crypto, but you want to learn it. Now, this I've been sharing with it. This is a free educational platform. Yes, in Plan B, we run academy. You subscribe, pay for the academy. But the good news is that because if you register on CapitalXtend, fund your account, you have access to basic knowledge. This thing I'm just paraphrasing is well detailed there. Then you can learn from there. Additional opportunity you have there is that you join the Signal Forum and make money, all right? but you just want to learn some things on your own and all of that. On the chat box, I'm going to paste this thing. Babypips.com. We teach you basic things. All right. So I'm going to paste it. It's a free place. I know some things that are free. Many wouldn't have access to it because they don't have information about it. And you can see that we are trending on informational economy. Okay. So babypips.com, you will learn about analysis, news, trading, Forex, learn Forex, learn crypto, all of those things you will learn. In fact, you can join their Telegram, they will give some free signals, some of the things. Things are more decentralized than before. Now we have different platforms too, like if you look at this, ACASX is an educational platform. However, you pay for it, and there are other softwares you will have access to, right? Now you have other support system and all of that. I'm just trying to highlight some things for all. Now, additionally, I know how to do analysis fine, but AI still give you support. Now look at it. For instance, look at this space. These are scanners where you pay for instance, you pay for scanners on ACASX, on GFU, and all of that. These are scanners. You can see where this one showing what we call order block for me to sell down, even from here, return back again for me to sell, for me to buy here. This is for me, though you learn basic on how to use it, but it reduced my stress of analyzing. But you know basic analysis. Now, this is another scanner, for instance. Look at this scanner. Look at where it asked me to buy. You can see, very fantastic. Say buy. Can you lose? Yes, fine. Sometimes you can lose. It can give you wrong signal. Another signal, it says sell from here. All right. Look at it. Now, power of leverage. Look at it. Buy, buy. So if I bring out gold too, look at gold. Look at it. Buy. Market move, return back. That is a good retest. Buy. And look at the buy. Very good move. Now, look at sell again. Okay. Look at the sell. This is a sell. Look at this sell. This sell down was already a good profit. Let's show you that in Forex, this is gold. Let's say you sell from here. Your stop loss is there. Now look at it. This is 110 pips. That's a big one, right? Look at another buy. Look at the buy. If you look at it from this buy, let's say you pick from this candle here and to this thing, this is already 100 pips. So these are scanners, okay? That I don't need to disturb myself unnecessarily. It just show me, all right, the same scanner, US 30. We dealt with US 30 today. I'm sure some of us who are on our Signal group, we saw what we did to US 30. Now, this is another, so this is another scanner. Okay, look at US 30. Even though it has made a major move, look at the scanner still saying buy here. You say, I mean it, buy. And then it has done a very good move again. Continue. This is another scanner. Now, why I'm showing us all of this is that it is more of leverage than hard work. But the hard work that requires of you is to acquire the simple, relevant knowledge. Look at another, okay, this is gold. Look at it, buy. It's already saying sell here again, right? Perhaps over time, maybe by the time market closes, it's going to sell down before buying up again. Look at sell, right? Look at buy. This is a buy, but not a confirm like this, okay? This is another scanner. So we have leverage on, okay, look at, this is US 30. Look at buy. This buy struggle eventually got up. Look at buy, right? If you look at gold, the same thing, right? Look at a sell, look at a buy, okay? Look at a buy, and all of this. These are scanners, okay? So let's look at it in Bitcoin. All right, good. Look at a buy. This is a buy. Say continue to buy. Even after this major pullback, you say buy. Now it has said so sell here. Now let's see, will it stand? Because the market is successfully bullish and all of that. So, but in some time, when market trend is up and then you see a sell signal, you want to be a little bit wary about that. Okay, it can result to just a minor pullback before the major continuation. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is so far we go tonight. Remember, I will say it's about training and trading just to show you opportunity that abound. So, if you are yet to, okay, I was sharing with So that's the second thing that happened in the market where you want to trade. Now listen to me. I can say this boldly speaking. I've listened to a lot of people complain to me, I don't have money to trade. Ashi. No, no, no. That's a lie from a pit of hell. There is OPM, other people's money, not OPM church. Other people's money. And I can say categorically speaking, OPM, number one, OPM is you may have to use your skill and knowledge. And that's where rebate affiliate system comes to play. I'm not talking of Ponzi scheme, because Ponzi scheme is you are going to rip people into what is not going to be productive for them. Now, one of the biggest platforms today that always do rebate system is Forex brokers. Now, we're running with a Forex broker called CapitalXtend. One of the things I've seen that was so unique is that even people who don't have money, you can create an account and build the affiliate to make rebate and now have money to trade. What about that? That's number one. Number two, and so not because of that make me to use CapitalXtend, the spread and other solution available in it. Because like I told us, we're running the copy trading, and then we say minimum to join the copy trading is $500. If it's $200, it's a bit risky because some drawdown can happen and all of that. But there's copy trading. Better to join is $1,000. Connect, and then that one, you don't lift your fingers. You don't need to check the chart, just running and all of that. That's a discussion for another day. Now, other aspect of getting fun. I kept announcing this. I say, you do not need to overstress yourself with your $100. You do not need to overstress yourself with your $50. You do not need to overstress yourself with $200. Because when you are trading with little money, you will expose to much risk. So how do? You do not need to go to bank to take any loan. No. That is where all of those prop firm comes to play. We have been running with a prop firm. Many of us now, we have a lot of people who have cashed out on Traded Mastery. It's one of the what do they call it? The prop firm that has really, really helped a lot of people, right? You can join the prop firm and you can buy account to as low as $10,000. If there's a promo time, you only use $50 to buy it. If it's $25,000, you use about $116 or thereabout. But if it's normal time, you use $100 to buy. So instead of you stressing yourself, look at it. Let me do one experiment for you. Instead of you stressing yourself, all right, to want to flip $100 and eventually, all right, blow the $100, why don't you use the $100? That's the simplest way. Why don't you use the $100? Because now look at it. If you want to trade with $100, your total capital is $100. Let's look at it here. $100. There are some trades you cannot take, and there's some leverage you cannot take. So imagine you are trading with $100, and professional always teach you about this thing. Only expose 0.5 of your capital to trade, or 1%. Let's look at it. Assuming you want to trade with 1%. 1% of your $100, how much? 1% of your $100 is $1, if I'm not mistaken. It is 10% that will be $10. So $1. So how much are you going to make with $1? So instead of you stressing yourself to want to flip your $100, we say you and buy prop firm. Then follow the instruction and direction to pass your prop firm. Then when you raise capital, you can now trade on your own personal equity. That's cheap, right? So we have different prop firms that can help you and all of that. So first, to acquire the skill, open your account in CapitalXtend, fund with as low as $100. You have access to all the basic training information, and then access to even signals. But better still, if you can make your funding to be up to 200, 500, better for you, okay? Because by the time you start seeing some trade we take, you will love to definitely maximize every opportunity available in the space. So prop firm is a place where I call it OPM, and I call it a place of loan without collateral. You don't pay collateral, so you don't need banking loan for your trading, to be very candid. You don't need banking loan. If you like, fail your prop firm 3, 4, 5 times, it's still better and cheaper than you taking any banking loan. And it's still better and cheaper, faster than you trying to flip $100 No matter how long you want to flip $100, you may not be able to do that. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the summary of tonight. And we're sorry last week, on Tuesday, we couldn't hold the class, and we're sorry about that. So those of you who are on our forum and yet to take a step, I'm sure you are losing a lot. Those of us who have started, and beg us, it is not enough for you to start. It is important to maintain consistency. I'm telling us that you have made profits, of let's say $10,000. Maybe I will share this testimony with us, or caution. I mentored somebody many years back, and he was trading. He started trading his Forex account, and what he has there, okay, one other person was, he started trading on the synthetic. Okay, so he started trading with the synthetics, and in that synthetics, more light on promo funded account. No, challenge account. Maybe if the promo is still on, but I know that somebody is asking question. Yeah, I know that Traders Mastery always run promo, but I think another Fundedness is running a promo now. I will check. Maybe on the group I will share them. Fundedness is running a promo right now, and which other one? Okay, I think we're exploring Goat Funded. Goat Funded 2 is running a promo. In fact, I saw a promo, they sent me offer. An offer they sent to me were 2 offers, but I didn't explore it. Look at the offer. Let me show us that you can buy $5,000 account with $17. Let me share with us so that you can see it. I saw from my email 3 days ago or so. Let me share with you. It's information we need. There are so many ways of cleaning a route. All right, look at it. This is summer deal / site-wide, sorry. We are turning up the heat with 30% off on all plans. $5,000 challenge account for $17. 30% off site-wide. But that is not all. All $5,000 challenge account are now only $17. This summer, invest in yourself. Don't miss out. Offer available for limited time. Summer 30. That's about 10 days to go. Then I say it's back. 50% plus 30% off combo deal. I don't even understand this, right? Okay, they say first challenge account, 50%. And the code is called first gift. And second challenge account, 30% off. Code is called second gift. Works on all challenge types. 1 use per customer. Limited time only. Get it now or miss it. This one for the goats. Okay? So 19 days and all of that. Now, so you have so many things, so many opportunities that are bound that we don't explore. So you don't need so much money. So if $17 can give you 5K, but of course there are conditions. So I can't start spelling all those conditions and all of that. But so imagine if you have $17, how much can you be so risk manager that you want to manage it and all of that? So that's what it is. Now, I was sharing with us about a person I mentored sometime, and haven't mentored him, and he started trading with $87. And the skill, the stuff I gave to him was a very simple. I installed one of my scanner for him on MT5, and I gave him to trade only boom 1,000. Okay, only boom 1,000 was what I gave him to trade. Now, so though he was so religious to the scanner, right, on his MT5, so he was so religious to it. That's the truth, and he was making money. Was he not making money? He was. Oh yeah. He was making money. And when I saw the rate at which he was going, I cautioned him. I said, the way you are going, you are doing well, but you are too aggressive. Now, I'm sure he was tempted to ask, boss, this strategy you gave to me is so massive. Why are you not using it like that? So, but he never bothered to ask anyway. Now, I'm giving you a story, everybody. This is what discouraged many of you from continue to trade. When your results ought to have announced, you were discouraged. You ran away. All right. And I told him, I said, no, this is how you should trade. Now, but the skill, the strategy were very, very powerful. That's the truth. It was very powerful. And because it was staying on the screen all through, I don't do that. I don't have all the time for trading. But if you have the time, why not? Okay? So, but he was overdoing, right? He told me, boss, no. I have to make this money. And I told him, okay, no problem, make the money. So he sat with Boom 1000 with $87. Listen to me, with $87 in 1 week. In 1 week, ladies and gentlemen, he turned $87 to $5,700. You hear me right? In 1 week, he turned $87 to $5,700. Now, this is the caution. And I told him, listen, now you have made this money. Uplift out $3,000 into your wallet. He said, okay, sir. But allow that disobedience. Now, this is it. He went ahead to trade with the whole money. And let me tell you, no matter how your technical skill is, no matter how strong your technical skill is, look at it. This is a market now. By virtue of structure now, these markets will continue to buy. Now, this was the Boom 1000 he was trading. Amazing instrument on Deriv. This is synthetic, for instance. Now, and I said, no matter what you are trading, my style is when you trade, make profit, bring money out, diversify, spread. And when you diversify to, first is buy coin. So I knew why he didn't withdraw. Let me tell you why. He looked at it and look, if I could take $87 to $5,700 in 1 week, then now that the money is $5,700, for me to flip it to $10,000 should not take up to that 1 week. After all, there's much money now to trade. I'm sure that was why he didn't withdraw. So he didn't do the withdrawal. I didn't bother to ask. Holy Ghost. He traded again the following week. And then yours truly, he brought the money back to that $65. Now, let me tell you the implication of this thing I'm sharing with you, so that please don't entangle yourself into that. Up to today, psychologically speaking, that person cannot trade again. Now, there's that. He's under fear up to now. Sometimes he funded again with $500. It didn't take up to 3 days. He blew that $500. So he need to reinstall his psychology properly for him to escape that fear. Are you getting it now? So because he climbed the tree from on top. Me that gave him that strategy, or I call it Felix hack, he never looked to say, oh, these things will have, markets have issues. And this is Boom 1000. The Boom 1000 he was playing with is that because the market was trending up, it was an uptrend, and he was enjoying the trend. He was dialing with the trend. And Boom 1000 have one character. If he's going to buy, he will buy for a very long time. Look at what he has done now. It's like the recovery. I even missed this because I marked this point that I'm going to. That's how I used to trade all this thing. I don't have all the time for it. I will enter the long and leave it. Look at it. Now it's like it has resumed the journey. At a point here, as if it has resumed. At a point here, as if it has resumed. At a point here, look at it. Even went sideways for a while, it did not resume anything. And like even this one that is going now, of course, I was not in. I will have been in and targeting that it may crash down here or eventually just resume. So what happened to him where he lost all this money was that the market was like this when he came in. The trend was favoring him and he was entering and they was taking the money. And he thought that is how the market will do all the time. He never bothered to now check that the trend has changed, and he made the trend his enemy. He started to make it his friend. That was how the whole money went down from $5,700 back to $65. As I'm talking to you, ladies and gentlemen, he has not gained himself or regained himself to now fall back into his trading activities. So psychology in trading is very, very important. It's key. So what am I saying? I'm sure you have been watching so many YouTube videos and they tell you how they flip account, how they do this, how they buy Lambo. If you must stay longer in this space, you must learn simple process of taking it one step at a time. But listen, is trading or this digital space actually a get-rich-quick scheme? You can get rich quick, but it's not a get-rich-quick scheme. Get it right. You can get rich quick because what I believe is that the same slow and steady win the race. Sometimes there's a time you need a speed because of the road was clear. So you have to understand the difference. There's a time to apply the speed because the road is clear. So that means there is a time success requires speed because if you lose a chance, you may not get it. But this person climbed the tree from the top and he crashed without remedy. So what I'm telling us is a psychology. If he has stayed one step at a time with caution, by now, that $5,000 will be very small to what you will have been making. So ladies and gentlemen, this is a full loaded training. I'm sure if you pay attention, it's going to help you a lot. Thank you very much, everyone. I know some of you have asked some questions. Okay, let's say kindly share. Okay, I've shared more light on it. This person, Guade. So I've shared more light on it. I'm sure you get it. Any other information you want, if you're on our group, ask. It's just that we always post all of those information on our group. Quite unfortunate that we don't pay attention. Seriously. All right. Thank you very much, everyone. Whoever that invited you to this forum, you can meet with him, ask him, how do I get started? Registering in CapitalXtend, registering all the things, and in registering and funding your account, all of those platforms. Once you fund your account, but I need to caution us, I don't trade every day, even though sometimes opportunity may come more in some weeks that bring signals Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I think like this week, we got signal on Monday. I think we got on Tuesday. I think almost, but Friday, I'm always cautioned, okay? Now, does that mean I should not trade on Friday? I didn't say so. But you need to be extra careful when you're trading on Friday, especially when we have FMOC. On Thursday, especially when we have unemployment rate for second weeks and all of that, our second weeks and third weeks. So you have to be careful, okay? But can I not make money on Friday? Why not? You can make a lot of money on Friday because gold, for instance, if you are trading Forex, horticulture, okay, let me not talk about that. So that's what it is, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming. And if you were here, you invited your friends, that means you love him. We have said our target, and everyone who are on our Signal group, you have an assignment to do. Share opportunity with friends everywhere until we have minimum of 500 people, not just having 500 people on the forum, but 500 people we can say they are actually making minimum of $20 in a day, up to $200 in a day. active 500 people who will know what to do, what to press. It might even be by leveraging on the signals and, of course, using a simple price action, support and resistance strategy to make money. We need that because we need to help people out of Ponzi scheme. We need to help people, to build up their financial freedom without hassle. So thank you very much, everyone. Do have a nice rest. It's an extensive training, I think, because we missed out of, couldn't come up on Tuesday. Thank you very much. Do have a nice time.